And just like that, Davante Adams has been traded to the New York Jets for it looks like a conditional third-round pick that could change to a second. Now, for a lot of us, this wasn't a surprise. We were even talking about this before the season had started, that it just makes sense. The departure of Derek Carr, being in limbo between two quarterbacks and Aiden O'Connell and Gardner Minshew. What are they doing as far as the running game to help out the passing game? There wasn't really any movement there. I don't think Alexander Mattison was going to move the needle for you. You hope that, somebody like Za'Mir Smith could step up to the plate, and just some uncertainties on not only the wide receiving core as in general. I wasn't really a huge fan of Jakobi Meyers, but as far as Davante Adams having a security blanket like a Allen Lazard, who's actually better than what a lot of people give him credit for, or a Randall Cobb, now he's gonna have that with the Jets and even more. What's up, guys? My name is Dante from East Coast Gridiron, and I'm excited to see what Davante Adams is going to do with the Jets and how Aaron Rodgers is going to respond to the trade that just happened today. One thing that Davante Adams gives you in the Jets offense is now a legit vertical and end zone threat. They expected Mike Williams to come in and be that guy. And what we kind of see, especially last night after the Bills game, he constantly gets injured. He's constantly not as reliable as a couple other receivers can be on the Jets. And now that you have a Davante Adams, it does give you that security blanket. And also, Aaron Rodgers knows Davante Adams, right? This is one of the things that I tweeted out that I actually absolutely got slammed for, was it doesn't matter in the NFL where a guy lands and what property he buys around the country. When a trade happens, they have the money to go and do whatever that they want. The money is not the issue. The thing that's the issue is whatever the team's package is going to be by the time that player gets to that other team. And they worked it out. And the Jets are known to do things like this, to go against the grain, to make those snap decisions on trying to get players there, right? To me, the similarities between Garrett Wilson and a Davante Adams are uncanny at this point. And if you can't see that, I'm not sure that you've actually been watching what the Jets have with Garrett Wilson. Look, I've been known to be not the biggest guy to pound the sand for Garrett Wilson or even Jameson Williams and what they're a part of. The only reason I compare those two is because those were the two that I was like, I'm not sure what you're going to get from them at the next level. I understand what Garrett Wilson did at Ohio State, and I understand what J-Mo did at Alabama, but I wasn't sold on them as legit number one wide receivers. And I think now we can kind of put the sword in the stone for right now and saying that Garrett Wilson's just not ready to be that guy. And I understand the seasons that he's had thus far. If you felt like that you were struggling with as reliable as Allen Lazard has been and a couple of the other guys on that team, to go out and go get Davante Adams, you got to start questioning if the Jets really feel comfortable with what they got. I think, and this is what I tweeted, is the things that Davante is going to be able to pass off to a guy like Garrett Wilson is going to be more valuable for the Jets moving forward than what they're seeking for right now. And what I mean is, when Davante Adams gets there, he's going to give them a sense of hope because of the relationship between him and Aaron Rodgers and how he can be really good catching the ball downfield, and that you're not as worried about if things can be converted when you really need them to be converted, right? What is it going to look like next year and the year after that if Davante ends up staying with the Jets? Is you're going to see the transition from Garrett Wilson becoming a number two to a number one really, really quickly because of what he's going to be able to see every day from a guy like Davante Adams. You get to see how he lives, how he breathes, how he practices, how he conversates with Aaron. He gets to bridge that gap of what made him and Aaron Rodgers so good at Green Bay, and put that in his toolkit for the next quarterback that comes around, how to be the ultimate professional. Because guess what? Garrett Wilson's just been the guy that got there, and he's been asked to be the number one receiver ever since he was drafted. And they haven't gotten that with the Zach Wilsons of the world, and you can name the list of quarterbacks that the Jets have had. It just has not worked out in their favor, right? So you can look at it from that aspect. The Jets are a good team. And if you can't see that after what had happened last night with the Bills, Aaron Rodgers, from all accounts, played really well against the Bills. I understand he had 2 passing touchdowns in the first half, and one of them came off a Hail Mary. But Aaron Rodgers is still good. The way he was slinging the ball across the middle, the one catch that, Garrett Wilson actually got popped on, he threaded the needle in the window, even though it was a hospital ball by all accounts. But asking the guy to hold on to the ball is a lot in that situation. But he can still get the ball where it needs to go, right? I think we kind of doubted him at this point because of the way that he started out. Look, the guy's getting a little older, but what we're seeing out of the Joe Flaccos of the world is that the mind for football can still exceed the physical attributes of the quarterback right now. And that's what you're getting from an Aaron Rodgers. And now you're getting a scapegoat to kind of help your deficiencies as well. And the other side of that is you're pairing Davante back up at Allen Lazard too. So there's just nothing but chemistry across the board, for these guys at this point in time. The Jets have had a lot of drops on third down. In fact, they've had a lot of drops in general. Look at the Bills game last night. There's not been a reliable guy, and I know I keep mentioning his name, outside of Allen Lazard right now. And he's been a very, very good weapon for them the last couple seasons. What Davante is going to help in an aspect is third down, first downs when you need it. You're able to throw the ball vertical, but also in an unorthodox situation, like outside of the hashes where Davante's diving to get the ball. We've seen that he can still make the circus catches. That's a valuable skill set to have on your team. And you just hope that they click right away like they did in the past. And the Jets actually elevate. I don't want to diminish the fact that they're not going to elevate from this. They are absolutely going to elevate from this. It's just, can the chemistry start right away? When the key is in the ignition, when it turns, is the car going to start up? That's what we're looking for from Aaron Rodgers and Davante. And one of the last things that I wanted to mention is Breece Hall is an amazing running back. We've seen this time and time again. Braylon Allen is another guy that's waiting to unleash. They have a great 1-2 punch. They have a great running back core, with Isaiah Davis too. It just, in general. But what's going to be even better for them, and you could just see it, the difference between a 100-yard rushing game and a 70-yard rushing game is how good your passing game can threaten a defense. Like, the Jets have one of the best defensive back units in the NFL. Actually, I think they were the number 1 defense coming into this game, right? But if Breece Hall and Braylon had a threatening passing game where they're able to convert their third downs, and on first down you give it to them and they're getting 7 yards a carry, these two could have a double 100-yard game. And I'm not just saying that because of the caliber player that they are. It's just this scheme is going to fit a lot better. So there's been a lot of culture change that's happening. We understand the Robert Saleh thing happened. You get an interim head coach who coached a very good game last night, and now you get another familiar target for an aging Aaron Rodgers. I think the possibilities are, it's going to be hard to predict for their team, right? We're not saying that they're going to be a lot better, but at least some sort of chemistry, a sense of relief is going to happen, not only with Aaron Rodgers, but for Davante as well, because this has been talked about for so long, and he's wanted to leave Green Bay and come and get Derek Carr, then they get rid of Derek Carr, and now he's just trying to find his groove and all of this, and now you land back with Aaron Rodgers, a guy that, I don't want to say made you, but a guy that helped propel your career into making you what a lot of people considered as a number 1 wide receiver for a long time. And can he get back to that? We understand he's had some injuries up to this point. Wink, wink. But we'll see. I'm excited to see what the Jets do. I'm excited for them to tighten up the screws. A lot of the things that happened last night should not happen moving forward, and they should be able to squeak out of games, because of that. If you like this video, please comment down below what you guys think, what your projections are for the Jets now that they have Davante Adams. And thank you so much for watching. My name is Dante with 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲𝘀𝘀, and we'll talk to you guys later.